Mercedes Samudio here, licensed clinical social worker, parent coach, and family therapist. Today, what we're going to talk about is the 5 ways that you can enhance your siblings' relationship. A lot of the times with siblings, we can feel like, oh, we have to make them feel closer, we have to make them be better with each other, and we kind of get scared when we see them fight. What I'll first say before we get into the 5 tips is it's okay for them to have disagreements, it's okay for them to have conflicts, and it's okay for them not to always see eye to eye. I think that's the normal kind of progress or the normal progression of a human relationship, especially because they're going to be living in the same house together for a few years. So it's normal for them not to always see eye to eye. Like I talked about in the previous video, there are ways to kind of deal with that sibling conflict, and you can check out that video for those ways. But in this video, what I wanted to really show you is there are ways to also enhance it, so that way your siblings will have more positive interactions with each other as opposed to negative interactions with each other. So the first step is to suggest that they spend time together. I know that might be like, duh, I always do that. But what you can do in those suggestions is to show that you really know who they are by saying, I know you guys like playing video games together, or I know you guys like going to the park together, or I know you guys like action movies and there's this new action movie coming out this weekend, you guys should go see it together. What that does is it shows that you understand who they are in their relationship and what they tend to like. And what might help you as the parent is to kind of make a list of things that you have observed and seen them do together. So if over the course of 1 week you can say, wow, I see them do this a lot together, or I noticed that they don't argue when it comes to this issue, make a list of those things. And when you start to see them kind of pulling away, you start to see them maybe getting further and further away from each other, you can kind of just throw out, hey, you guys used to always go to the park together. What happened? You guys should go do that, maybe spend some time together. And it might kind of spark, again, a positive interaction with each other. Now, the second tip that I'm about to give you might feel a little contradictory to the first one. However, it's really important for their relationship to develop as well. So the second tip that I have for you is to actually suggest that they spend time apart, especially as kids get older, regardless of the age range that they have between them. So it could be 1 year between them, 10 years between them. It's really important that you give them space to kind of do things on their own that has nothing to do with their siblings. So if they have a separate sport that they like to play, if they do things with their own friends that they like to do, don't always say, well, take your sister with you, take your little brother with you. Give them a space to say, you know what, this is your time to go with your friends and hang out, or this is your time to watch your TV show without having to worry about babysitting your kid's sister or anything like that. The third tip that I have is actually a really good one, especially as kids get older and they start wanting their own space and not really wanting to see their sibling in their space. So my third tip is to create a not now signal. A not now signal in your home is something that your children can give to each other, and it's something that you know about too. So when you see your kid give the not now signal to their sibling, you know that that's maybe a time that I need to maybe pull the siblings away, so that way it doesn't kind of increase or become an argument. The not now signal should be something that you all talk about. So you and the siblings all say, this is my not now signal. My not now signal could be, for instance, when my door is closed, that means that I don't really want to hang out. Or my not now signal can be like my hand up, just going like this. And that way the other siblings and okay, this is not the time to engage in positive interactions because that person needs their space. The next tip that I will give you is something that I think, again, you probably have already thought about, but in terms of helping your family or helping the siblings become more close to each other, I think this one sometimes doesn't always come up, right? So you're always thinking about, how do I delineate things and give each person a task that way they develop responsibility. But my fourth tip is actually have them share the responsibility. So instead of saying that on Monday so-and-so has to take out the trash and on Tuesday so-and-so has to take out, has to do the dishes, actually do something where each kid does it together. So all of your children do it together. So instead of saying everyone has to have their separate day for a chore, actually say everyone does chores on the same day. So everyone cleans up the kitchen on Monday. On Tuesday, you guys can help each other take out the trash. So one person will take out the trash, the other person will put the trash bag in the trash can. Things like that. So that way it doesn't feel like so-and-so is getting more chores or less chores, and you're not doing chores based on age. You're doing chores based on everyone kind of in the family doing them together. My fifth tip is to start a thank you jar. And I will start a thank you jar that's separate just for the siblings. So it is a jar where every kind of day or every week, one of the siblings will say, I thank my sibling for this, or thank you, sibling, for doing X. It could be anything. It could be anything such as, thank you, sibling, for helping with my homework last night. Thank you, sibling, for taking out the trash when you knew I was sick the other night for me. Whatever that might be. Thank you, sibling, for, listening to me when I was telling you about the kid at school who was getting on my nerves. And then kind of have that jar just for the siblings. And at the end of the week, you can kind of pull out of it and they can see how many things they actually do for each other. That's actually really nice. And it could be trivial. Like I said, it could be small or big things. It could be that the sibling gave them extra money at lunchtime to, get something really cool. Or it could be that they just kind of took a walk together. Whatever that is, have them really to be aware of how many things they actually do for each other. And that, again, continues to enhance that relationship.